Reports came out today saying that the Biden administration is sending baby formula to the border for the illegal immigrants that have crossed over. What do you think about that?
I mean, he doesn't care about us. He's doing more for other countries than he's doing for his own country.
But I would also note that we also think it's morally the right thing to do.
I feel like more presidents, I feel like they feel more empowered when they do for other countries. So
Broke, we fool. It's a lot. We're the only ones suffering, but we're helping everybody.
This is a difference from the last administration. We believe that when babies are crossing the border with a family member, that providing them formula is morally right. And so we certainly support the implementation of it.
Welcome back to the show. So glad that you found my backup for Anna's thoughts and musical parodies here at Anna Speaks Out. Thanks for being here.
If you've been here for a little while and you've been enjoying what you've been seeing, I would like to invite you to check out the merch store or the other links that I have in the description, like PayPal and my Diaper Fund. It would be very appreciated. It is kind of a lot of work to put all this stuff together, so if you feel so inclined, I would really appreciate it.
So I am coming to you from my beach towel at the park, laying on the grass, a little bit of a different setup here. And I've been doing a lot of research into the latest in the baby formula shortage, great baby formula shortage of 2022. And I came across this video on Instagram of someone who originally posted it on TikTok, and they had some interesting things to say about the formula shortage. And I strongly agree with about half what he had to say. Here it is.
Look, guys, no need to panic, okay, as far as this baby formula shortage. Everything is not what it seems, okay? The reason that there is a baby formula shortage is because it is poison. And they are slowly removing them from the stores, okay? Yes, look at the last video I posted, okay? New Earth is here. Anything that was put in place to damage our immune system, genetic modified organisms, anything like that, poisonous processed foods, all that stuff is slowly being removed, okay, guys? And the reason is because the dark forces have lost this war. They no longer have our planet captive, okay? So things are going to change for the better now. So look for it. All right, you don't need baby formula. Find new alternatives. They didn't use it in ancient times.
So I do not agree that the earth is no longer ruled by evil. I believe that it will be, and it will only get worse until Jesus comes back for his church, which is why if you don't know Jesus, you need to find a relationship with him for your own sake, for your eternal salvation. And I just say this out of total sincerity and love and concern. However, I do completely agree that baby formula is poison. Here is a great example of why. From Scientific American circa April 2009, CDC study finds rocket fuel chemical in baby formula. Perchlorate has been found in powdered infant formula by scientists at the U.S. Centers for Disease Control. Also, I was given a couple cans of formula from my son's pediatrician, and my husband and I decided we couldn't give that to him because the ingredients were just really bad. This is it here, Enfamil Neuropro Gentlies. And you can see that the very first ingredient is corn syrup solids, and it has vegetable oil and soy and some other stuff that I don't even know what it is. And it also says that trace amounts of genetically engineered material may be present, such as from manufacturing environments and process sources. We actually found a much healthier option that was all organic and everything to give in supplementation to breastfeeding, just because I was having a hard time producing enough right then. But it's going a lot better now. Formula is far and few between at stores here in the United States, but there's plenty of it at the U.S. border, bordering Mexico, and it turns out that there's plenty in Canada as well. My Instagram friend, who also has a YouTube channel that you should check out called Biblical Reality, sent me this post that he came across. Looks like the person who originally shared it said, if you need formula, you can go on Amazon's site, change your website on your settings to Canada, and lo and behold, every brand is available at normal prices. Just have it shipped to your address in the US. There might be an additional day or two for a wait, but much better than price gouging. And here's another person sharing the same information. I am Rachel Reed says, to all the moms that can't find baby formula, go to Amazon, go to the bottom, change from US to Canada. You can get all the formula you need. They are not having a shortage, just the US is. Have it shipped right to your front door.
But something that I absolutely have to share with you right now is the craziness of the empty shelves Biden movement and the fact that they are sending pallets of baby formula to the border. Meanwhile, in our own district, at home, we cannot find baby formula. This is a picture from a Target. Oh, it's upside down, sorry. Okay, we literally are struggling to find baby formula around the country. Moms are struggling going from store to store to store, and then the stores are actually capping the amount of baby formula that they will sell them. And this got sent to me by a Border Patrol agent this morning and said, this is disgusting. You will not believe this. They're receiving pallets and more pallets of baby formula at the border. This was taken at Ursula processing facility where thousands are being housed and processed and then released subsequently into the United States.
I do find it quite fitting that the immigration processing facility where all this formula was sent to is called Ursula, because that's the name of the sea witch in the Disney movie Little Mermaid. And Disney is an evil corporation, and witches are evil, and this situation is evil, so it just all fits together just perfectly. And you know, it's interesting to find out that Canada has no shortage when they're just right to our northern border, but it's really not surprising. This whole situation just goes right in line with all the other current events of the fires and plane crashes on food processing plants, the avian flu that means that we have to apparently supposedly kill some chickens that could otherwise be eaten, the water shortages here in California that I talked about in my last video that I'm pretty sure could be prevented in various ways. You know, it just all relates to each other, and it's just not surprising to me. But what has been the most interesting in this research for me is the way that people are talking about breastfeeding. Here we have a list of baby formula shortage tips from a news station from Lexington, Kentucky. And it tells you to check with store managers, call your pediatrician, look for samples, try different stores, etc. And only as the second to last option at the end of the list does it say breastfeeding is an option, but check with your pediatrician first. I have learned recently that for some women, breastfeeding is actually something that they're not capable of due to a physical issue with themselves or their baby not being able to latch or something like that. But I think it's fairly rare, and I would just think, since breastfeeding is the healthiest option for your child, as I talked about in my last baby formula shortage video, which is on Rumble, since breastfeeding is the best option for your child, I would just think that they would want to first off say, you know, if you're capable of breastfeeding, that's what you should do, probably. But it's just kind of like an afterthought at the end of the list, so it's just kind of strange to me. So that was not anything too major, but then here we actually have some women getting upset that breastfeeding is even suggested. Absolutely zero tolerance or patience for breastfeeding is free argument sparked by the baby formula shortage. Breastfeeding is only free if a mother's physical comfort, career, mental health, and often the physical health of both mother and baby have no value. So I was actually kind of thrown off and surprised to see that. I didn't know people were so against breastfeeding these days. It sounds like some more feminist toxicity to me. Breastfeeding can be kind of painful, but it's not that bad, and it's worth it, you know, to give your child the best thing for them. You know, life is about sacrifice sometimes. Sometimes you have to sacrifice to get good things. So it's just strange to me. And it actually seems like a good argument for why traditional families are the best way to go. You know, waiting until you're married and you can have a husband to support you before you have kids, because then you won't have to worry about fitting your career into feeding your baby, you know, feeding your baby around your career schedule. You can prioritize your children. That's just my thoughts. Thank you again so much for being here today. Since you liked the video enough to make it all the way to the end, don't forget to click the thumbs up and share with somebody else who would also find it interesting. Leave your comments below and we'll all have a conversation. And if you really enjoyed, check out the description for several different ways that you can support while getting some cool stuff for yourself. Have a wonderful night, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time zone you are in. And I will see you next time. Bye.